Last summer, I decided to go canvassing. The day began like any typical day in literature evangelism.
Ben Ellis worked his way through college by serving as a literature evangelist in the southern United States. Every morning, group leader Ben and his team of 8 students came together for devotions and prayer before going out to witness door to door.
I was preparing to drop off a student for the second time, and we went to Southwestern Grill. I dropped him off, and I said, God bless, and we'll see you soon. Behind me was the police car with flashing lights. The police officer walked up to the van, and I rolled down my window, and I said, how may I help you? And she asked me my name and asked me my age, and said, it's going to take a lot more than that, sonny boy. And she actually told me to get out of the van and stand behind the vehicle. But then she said, put your hands behind your back.
Ben was arrested on site and taken to the station in the back of a police car. He remained calm and maintained a positive demeanor, although he was quite concerned about the welfare of the students he was responsible for.
I had told the devil before. I said, listen, if I get arrested, I want to let you know I'm going to witness in there too. And the people that will not hear the gospel because they're locked up in prison will hear the gospel now. I was like, any way you look at it, I'm going to witness.
Your Seventh-day Adventist Church's Religious Liberty Department came to Ben's aid and discovered that the law he was arrested for breaking was actually unconstitutional.
This ordinance violated just about every First Amendment principle you can think of. It required a fee to be paid, which is unconstitutional. It was a prior restraint on speech, so it was unconstitutional. It also said that the issuance of this permit was completely up to the discretion of the city clerk in making the decision, which is one of the most unconstitutional things you can do, which is give discretion to local officials about whether people can exercise their First Amendment rights.
Ben Ellis is attempting to go to school, and he's attempting to do missionary work. He doesn't have a large bank account to go hire a lawyer. He probably doesn't even know where to go to try and find a lawyer, much less one that has any kind of experience in these types of issues.
The Religious Liberty team prepared a strong defense and was prepared to stand trial. But just 3 days before the case was scheduled to be heard, it was dismissed. In fact, the city went a step further and decided they would replace their ordinance with a new one, essentially conceding that the original ordinance was unconstitutional. Unfortunately, situations like these are all too common in literature evangelism. Cities are becoming more and more hostile to this type of missionary work, making it increasingly difficult for students like Ben to go door to door and share their love of Christ. The U.S. Supreme Court has made it clear that the freedom of religious expression includes this type of activity, and the Seventh-day Adventist Church remains committed to preserving this freedom for its literature evangelists.
Having a program that can provide assistance, especially on a nationwide basis, is very important. All of these cases, despite what Ben went through, are ultimately pretty small. But yet, if you don't fight back against cities, if you don't push back, if you don't work to challenge these laws, cities will be able to do this with impunity, and the work of the literature evangelists will be severely restricted.
These cases, even the seemingly minor ones, can be quite expensive. And from an economic perspective, it would almost always be cheaper to just pay the fine. But if you pay the fine, you basically agree to stop literature evangelism work. By supporting the Religious Liberty offering, you make it possible for Ben Ellis and our other literature evangelists to continue doing their vital work and know that they will be protected when they need it most. Your contribution will also sponsor Liberty Magazine subscriptions to high-level government officials, federal, state and provincial judges, and prominent social and religious liberty leaders throughout North America. Thank you for your continued prayers and for your support of our ministry.